Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 59. Today's date is August 24, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what has your week been? What have you been up to this week, Duds? I think I try to reword that every single time.
I think you do. You had no problem every time in the pre-show. You nailed the pre-show. So I want to put that out there, guys. Jimbo doesn't struggle every time he reads a script. He killed it in the pre-show. Just this one, just the intro for the main show is the one that gets messed up.
Yeah, it's like an 8-word sentence. Couldn't
yeah,
pull it
it's
off.
like your shortest script.
Yep, that's it. It's me.
My Minecraft week has been in this confined 21 by 5 deep by 10 tall or 11 tall space, and you know what? My real life has actually been about the same because that's about the size of my office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Minecraft. I'm working in the storage room, finally. I'm finally trying to get things in place so I can go ahead and move my spawn town house to the island mountain, and picking the item sorter out for this season took 3 days. Not gonna lie.
Wow.
So I had, first it was, do I want a redstone sorter again this season, or do I want to just do manual? And I very much teetered on doing a manual sorter this season.
Okay.
Mainly because of the amount of lag we've been having on the server in 1.16.
Yeah.
But we updated to 1.16 too.
Yeah.
And the server's been awesome in 1.16 too. Granted, this week's kind of been slow on the server. There really hasn't been a lot of people on. I think the most that have been on at one time for me has been 5. Okay. But
yeah,
it's run amazingly. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go with redstone sorter. And then it came, do I do a sorter like I did last season, where you have to keep an item in every single slot of every single chest to make sure it works? Or do I do a categorizer like Cass and a couple of the other people? I think Covfan used one from a guy. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name.
Tango has one also.
Yeah, but I don't think Tango's works in the latest updates. Like, I think he abandoned that after 1.12.
Oh, okay. I used one last season. I think it was by Tango. It might have been Impulse. I don't know. Never mind.
I ended up going with the same one I used last season. I was a little worried because that design was designed for 1.14. And, or it actually was designed for 1.12 and updated for 1.13. But I knew it worked for 1.14 because we played in 1.14 last season. So I pulled up the old Ripple Effect world, jumped in, and I sat there for like 2 hours running this item sorter as hard as I could to see if 1.16.2 would break it. Nope. Worked like a champ.
No.
I was like,
nice.
Perfect. I've built it once. I can build it again. Dang. I forgot how much building that thing sucked. As I was building it, I had flashbacks. So there's not a tutorial.
Oh.
The way you do it, it's a design by Cybot, and he has a world you download. And he's got a couple designs in this, what I call lobby area. And you walk over, you're like, I want to mess with this design. And you hit a button, it'll teleport you somewhere else on the map where he breaks down the build. So he's like, okay, here's the build. If you want to build this section, here it is. Here's the next section. Here's the next section. And you're done. And here's the final section. So that's how he does it.
Pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. And it works, though there are some hidden redstone bits. But since I built it last time, I remembered that. And was able to bring one instance up on one monitor and bring my survival world up on another. I start building. I literally got 10 blocks in. Lost internet at the house. This was like on Saturday or something like that. And I had pushed it in myself that I was finishing this build before I went to bed. I waited, and now there's a motorcycle. I know you guys get tired of me saying there's a motorcycle, but it's like freaking clockwork on Mondays now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he turned it off.
Always a motorcycle.
The internet finally came back at 9:30 that night. And I'm at that point now. It's like, do I stay up and continue building this because I know I have hours of redstone work in front of me? Or do I just call it a night and go to bed early? I stayed up and I ended up building it. I didn't get it functional. I just got all the redstone in place. and I was happy with that. I ended up finishing around 1 a.m., so it wasn't terrible, but it definitely gave me flashbacks, and I don't know if I'll build it a third time. It's not a complicated build, I will say that. Anybody who can understand his little lobby section, it's super easy to build. It's just confined spaces and repetitive movements. And if anyone's been following me, that makes me nauseous playing Minecraft. So,
okay.
Yeah, it stunk. But I ended up knocking it out, getting it done. You hop on Sunday, and I was like, I'm going to make sure this thing's fully functional before I go any further. So I fill all the chests with items. The big sorting system. So the way that the whole machine works is it pushes sticks through the system, and that's how it works its timing. And it uses 4 maps and an item sorter to kind of push these sticks. Well, so I threw the 4 or 5 stacks of sticks in there, and it's going through, it's sorting everything. I noticed 2 of the uprights aren't working properly. And I'm like, okay, what's going on with this? And then I realized I didn't name the filter sticks before I put them in there. That didn't break the machine. The machine showed it was still, for the most part, functioning, but I realized I had to get the normal sticks out of there, because if I ever put normal sticks into the machine, it would obviously break it.
Yeah.
So the only way to get all the filters, or get all those regular sticks out and put my filter sticks in, was I was naming a stack of sticks at a time, and I would throw them in the machine and then break the hopper that does the cycle. And so instead of cycling, it was just pushing sticks into my inventory. And then when the machine stopped, I'd go get more named sticks, throw it in there, and it'd keep pushing out unnamed sticks. And I kept doing that until I started to get nothing but named sticks. I was like, cool. I fixed that part. That was 3 hours of pushing sticks to this machine, because it's not
playing with sticks.
Yeah, it's not a fast machine. I'll give it that. That's its greatest downfall, is it's not quick, and you can't leave the chunks when it starts going. But for me, looking at the redstone, it's reliable redstone. There's nothing complicated. They're not taking advantage of any kind of quasi-connectivity. It's just simple redstone. So for me, it means it should hopefully never break.
Yeah.
But then I had to come and figure out why the 2 stacks weren't working correctly. Luckily, I looked down and I see 2 repeaters on the wrong setting, and I went click, click, and then everything worked perfectly from then on. So I was extremely excited.
Nice. I have to do my own sorter. My own storage sorter this year.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'm not going to look at a tutorial. That stick tutorial, though, that's definitely different that you mentioned.
It really is. And if you want, I can send you the world and you can look around, because he's got several designs. One of the cool ones is like this warehouse design he's got. I say he. I shouldn't say he. I don't know for sure. It could be he or she. They have a really cool world and stuff. And if you guys want it, let me know, and I'll post the download link or whatever in Discord. Yeah, it'd be great to look at for inspiration and stuff. I think my main storage is 38 double chests. That's it.
It's not too bad.
No, it's not a lot of chests. Granted, I will have bulk storage, and that's not going to do any storage for any kind of farms I have, but it'll do me well.
Mine's probably going to be very bulky because I'm doing it myself. And I'm not great at redstone, so I need a really big area for this. Still don't know where I'm going to put it.
All I'm going to ask is don't do the mumbo jumbo and put 900 hoppers down there.
That's fair.
It's the only thing that worries me. He keeps building that same item sorter design every season, and I'm just like, dude, that's what hurts so bad in your base. He's got a super beefy PC, so he doesn't feel it. Granted, you have a super beefy PC, too. I was looking at your frames while you were live streaming compared to my frames while I was in your base building the bee. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, like, you average, 300 and something frames at your base?
Yeah. Sometimes it goes to, 240 something. I don't really pay attention too much.
I stayed right at 100 the entire time I was in your base.
There really isn't much going on there.
Well, it was trying to render the big hole.
Yeah.
And that's what hurt. Yeah, it's like you took things out of the world. How is it having trouble rendering that?
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. Should be easier.
Well, and it's kind of like how glass and water causes a little bit of frame rate lag. It's not excessive, but when you put a giant glass structure somewhere, you can notice.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm excited to see what you do over there. Like, seeing that giant hole, I was just like, holy cow.
It's going to get bigger. It's definitely going to get bigger.
Jeez.
My week this week,
Mm-hmm.
I actually built a witch farm. I went ahead and
Mhm.
knocked it out. Figured I'd do it early just so I can get drops going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have the rocket shop, which we're both a part of, and that helps with that. I'm getting sugar and spider eyes that I'm probably going to filter out.
Mm-hmm.
I might do sugar, or I might get a shulker box. Just have a full shulker box of sugar, spider eyes.
I was going to say, do a shulker box first, but I agree with you. You
Yeah.
could probably get rid of that once you get the shulker box full.
Yeah, I'm not going to need any more than that. So I'll probably just burn those items and keep the rest. I mean, it comes with sticks, glass bottles, redstone, glowstone, gunpowder. I'll use all those. I was thinking about the lighting because I want to make like a lighting down at the bottom where the bedrock is to make like a fog effect type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I like those things. And I didn't know what to use for lighting. And here Crock 17 was like, hey, you have glowstone from the witch farm. I was like, wow, totally forgot about all that glowstone I have that I probably wouldn't even have used until he said that. So probably going to use that to light up where the fog effect's going to be. I did stream this week, which is a rare thing I do.
Yeah.
Don't have a schedule for it. I visited your base. That must have been right before you built the sorter, right?
Yes, I think I was looking at the hole going, am I really doing this again?
Yeah, when I showed up, you didn't have a sorter.
It was a little bit after you had visited my base that basically my internet went down.
Didn't realize that.
I want to say it was a couple minutes after your stream ended. I went, my internet's gone.
Back to the witch farm. I used the Zoglin-powered witch farm, I guess you could say.
I know, I watched your video on that, and that's super cool. Because the redstone and witch farms has always kind of been a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
My only thing is, do you get spiders spawning in there? Because that was always my problem when every witch farm I built, I'd always mess up and somehow would get spiders spawning in there.
No. There's no spiders. I think it's, I don't know. I have the platforms where they need to be, the 7x9, 3 platforms. I think only witches are supposed to spawn in there, as far as I know.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've built a witch farm since the first season Comiccraft, so it's been a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, things might have changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed there's a tutorial for it. I didn't get to watch the whole video, but I was really curious of why the Zoglins wouldn't die. You know, why don't the witches kill the Zoglins? But the Zoglins actually, they get healed with the weakness potion the witches throw at them. So they'll never die. They'll actually get healed while they're in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I watched, but I did go back and get to see the farm or watch the tutorial after I was done, and I realized he put 2 Zoglins per platform, which I used 1, which is fine. Yeah. I'm cool with 1. The rates are perfectly could be more efficient, but
I don't know. I saw your video, dude. You had overflow after your first AFK session. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And you don't have things lit up very well.
Right.
Like, you haven't gone through and you haven't done caves. Most of your surface is still kind of dark. So the fact that you're getting those kinds of rates, bravo.
Yeah, it's going really well. I also noticed the walls on the outside of the farm. In the tutorial, he used stairs, which I guess helps the rates. I don't know. I'm not going to need that, because the rates are so good as they are.
I had a question. You put a roof on the farm. But why'd you put a roof on the farm? Because you enclosed it all. There's no glass. There's no nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, do I need all that? Probably don't need all that. But I did it just because. I don't think very good.
Yeah. I saw it and I went, well, he was probably going to design it one way and then changed his mind halfway through it. That's what I was thinking.
Nope, roof was last.
Okay. Well, either way you look at it, I don't think you need the roof. So if you want to get rid of the roof, you can. If you want to keep it, go ahead. I mean, it's a cool looking build as it is.
It depends on what I put around it. I'm still working on how to hide this thing, what kind of tower. It's going to be a tower type of futuristic tower. Kind of exotic looking. I have an idea, but I'm trying to put it into Minecraft, and it's getting pretty difficult when I get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't want to take any builds from people, so I'm trying to come up with my own thing, and it's actually pretty difficult. So still working on that. But that's about it.
There's something else I want to talk to you about. Oh, your sticks from your witch farm. Have you thought about making an auto furnace, just fueling it with those sticks?
I could do that. I mean, I was thinking of what else I could put in that tower, because I want to put not just a witch farm hiding in this huge tower, maybe combine it with something. A furnace array would be perfect, actually. Because what else would I use the sticks for? I mean, I could use it in some crafting, but for a furnace array, I could save a lot on coal and whatever else you would use.
Yeah, blaze rods or anything like that.
Just use sticks. If there's that much, might as well.
I think if you put a buffer chest, like, the hopper that goes into the back of the furnace, if you do like a double chest as a buffer chest, so that way it's filling up the buffer chest, even if you do like giant smelting projects, because sticks burn, was it 2 sticks per item or is it 4 sticks?
I don't know. I know that, they burn fast.
Yeah. So if you put a big double chest behind it to kind of buffer, I think you'll be safe, because I was thinking about doing kind of the same thing, but I was thinking about doing it with bamboo this season. So that's where I had the idea. It's like, well, I planned on doing this with bamboo, and I was like, oh, wait, Jimbo has a witch farm. He could do the same thing, but with sticks.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Holy cow, we've talked a lot.
Good Minecraft talk, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can start with the news.
Hit it. It's all you this week.
I'll cover the news. You got the listener comment. The news this week, it's just more combat news. It's combat test snapshot 8B, what they call it. And they brought back the bow inaccuracy. The bow inaccuracy is back, along with the interrupted eating, which we talked about that. We didn't like how they took that out. So that's back, except it is, I guess it's after 4 seconds. They changed some things after 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 4.
Yeah, then it'll start shaking. So you got a little bit more time to hold back on the bow, which is cool. It makes sense.
I thought they weren't going to do the interrupted eating still, but I may have read that wrong.
Yeah, they added it back.
Okay.
That interrupted eating and potions. If you were to take a potion, and it could be interrupted.
That'd be one reason to switch to splash potions if you're worried about getting interrupted.
Right, that's a good thought. They also added liquid foods are consumed faster. So potions, milk. What else is a liquid food? I don't know. Soups or stews, they call it. Potions are buffed slightly. I guess the health potion can regenerate more hearts. I don't know. That was the only example that they gave, so I don't know if that's applied to all potions, if they're all buffed. I know the health potion is. And tipped arrow effects are used different... tipped arrow effects use different percentages depending on the draw of the bow. So I guess there's like 1 to 8 of the effect. So if you hit them, like if you draw back your bow and let go real fast, you're only going to get 1% of that effect. If you draw back all the way and hit someone with that tipped arrow, you're going to get the full effect of that tipped arrow.
Dang.
So I thought that was a pretty cool change. And that's it. At least that's all that's really notable.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to listener comments. We got an email from Joe, and it's a long one. So I'm going to try to read it out for the most part. I might skip some parts, but yeah. Thank you, Joe, for sending an email. Joe says, hey guys, how has your week been? We talked about it for like 20 minutes. So yeah. Pretty good week. Actually, we talked about it in the pre-show also. So if you want to count that, that's like 40 minutes of talking about our week.
Long week.
Says, had a few questions for you. Before the meat and potatoes of this, I got introduced to Minecraft from my kid. Sounds familiar. As every first and second grade at the time, I'm assuming the kid's in first, second grade.
Yeah.
I was definitely playing Super Mario Bros. At that time.
Yeah, I was on Nintendo.
Time reference, this is a few months before the In-City update. I currently play on the PS4 version of Bedrock. Happy with the new Nether update. PS4 version got the Nether update. I know for a while that version was lagging behind. But I guess they finally caught up.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it.
So he says, on to the meal. When doing the announcement, is it possible to address any Bedrock's concern when needed? That's the first part of the thing. The only way I can answer it is if there's big stuff that pops up or someone lets us know of Bedrock issues, we'll definitely address it.
Yeah.
We get our news by going to Minecraft.net and looking for any big stuff they kind of talk about. And most of the time, their main focus is Java. And that's our main focus because that's what we play. Neither one of us play anything on Bedrock. So we don't like to talk about Bedrock because we found we'll talk out of turn and we'll be incorrect on a lot of stuff. We're incorrect about a lot of stuff on Java too.
Yeah.
But at least there's some things we can say we know correctly in Java. We got no problem talking about Bedrock. We just don't know a lot about it. Groova Guy, he's in our Discord. He's a Bedrock player and he's super smart. I'm sure if you ask nicely in the public section, don't ping him every 30 seconds with questions. I'm sure he'll help out.
Yeah.
If there's anything. But yeah, updates and stuff, we'll definitely mention that. For the most part, Bedrock is on par with Java now, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of it's the same. You know, they're trying to, the whole parity thing, they're trying to bring it together a little bit more so there's not too much of a difference. Obviously there are, and I never seem to come across any Bedrock news or any differences either on my Twitter or YouTube. Yeah, that's probably because I play Java as well.
Yeah. The only time I see major differences is when they're doing the snapshots, and that's because Bedrock will work on a few features and then Java will work on a few different features. And then about the midway point through the development, you'll start to see all those features kind of cross over. So, yeah, there's that. And obviously, we'll be talking about Bedrock then because we know those features will be coming to Java soon. We keep an eye out for Bedrock. I'm sorry, we don't talk more about it. It's just we don't play it, so we don't know as many issues with it. But there are a ton of Bedrock players out there making videos now. Obviously, you got Groova Guy. I know he's streaming a lot. He always streams during work, so I never get to see it. But there's the whole, what's the server called? Truly Bedrock, I think Groova's a part of. That's a fun server to watch. I don't play Bedrock, and I don't watch a lot of Bedrock YouTubers, but that's one server I keep up with a little bit.
Yeah, bunch of big names. If you ever want to learn anything, that'd be the one to watch. Truly Bedrock SMP.
Shout out. Next part of the email was curious on your playstyles. When I start a new seed or join someone, I default and get all iron everything and then plot out a village. Once netherbound and ready, I make weakness potions and cure villagers for cheaper rates, especially helping me to get in-game gear way sooner, except for the end. I was just curious because I rarely die and I hear you guys speaking about dying. I do die. I'm not Jesus, but when I do, it's in the dumbest ways. LOL. Thank you guys for the podcast. Gets me through the boring day and gives me great ideas. Thanks again. Sangria out and keep chunking. I don't know if we're keep chunking.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what chunking would mean.
Did you mean to email the spawn chunks on accident?
We got the spawn chunks email.
Yeah. Well, what would you call it?
Sure.
Withering, wilting.
Yeah, we'll keep withering and chunking.
But anyways, yeah, thank you so much for the email. And
yeah, thanks, Joe.
Me and Jimbo definitely, when you're making content, you play different, 100%.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you're producing good content. So you try to save the good stuff for when you know you're going to be recording. A lot of the early game gear getting, I don't think me and you make much content around that anymore just because everybody does it. Everyone knows what it's like.
Yeah. I might do, usually I start out with a mining session. My first day, I'm in the mines, I'm grinding out the mines. I'll record my mining session, but that's it. That's all you'll see of me in the mines. But that's a lot of my first day or two is getting in the mines and getting resources. And when you record, you kind of push your boundaries a little bit, push the limits. So you do things to put yourself on that edge of dying.
Yeah, I was going to say dying is good content.
Yeah, it's also good content. So if you see like a bunch of zombies, try to take them out, and that, you could die, or, you want to go through these mine shafts and explore and try to get the loot. And that's also very dangerous. So yeah, I do a lot of dying. I'll admit that.
Same here. I think you've actually caught me in deaths this season, though. I'm up to 25.
Dude, we're even.
And
we're perfectly even.
Let's put it this way. 20 of those 25 were day one, and I have still yet to die anywhere but the nether. I've only died in the nether.
Wow. I was just, you know how I keep up on my deaths on my video?
Yeah.
I pretty much said on my video, I'm not going to be able to keep up with these because I die too much off camera. And then I checked my deaths. I was like, let's go ahead and check my deaths. And there it was, 25. So we're even if you're at 25.
I'm at 25. I saw you say that and I went and I checked. And yeah, I'm at 25 now. I changed the way I play the game with every new series or new season I do. And that's because gaming burnout is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm not playing a lot of different games anymore because all my content is gauged around Minecraft. And it takes a long time to put Minecraft content out. It takes me literally a week or so to do stuff. So I really don't have time for other games. Granted, I'll take breaks. Like I took a break to play Jedi Fallen Order. Awesome game, by the way. And then I've slowly just slowed my pace. If you watch some of my earlier content, I was knocking out entire builds in one episode. Just start, finish, everything's detailed, ready to go, fully functional. And I found that that wasn't very good content. It was just me saying, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, here's a progress update. Here's another progress update. Here's the finished product. Thanks for watching. Bye. Super boring.
Insane.
So over the seasons, I've learned to just kind of chill and take it slow. Like, I don't think I got out of leather armor for the first couple episodes.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I finished the inside of my house the first episode. I think it was still just a shell when I built it or finished the first episode. Definitely different ways to play. When I played my single player world, there was the rush and grind to get gear as good as possible, as quick as possible, because you don't have the support system as a SMP.
Yeah.
I'm walking around the server. The first day I go, anybody got any food? And like I get slapped in the face with like 5 fish. That's the great part about playing with people.
Yeah, he might play a certain way by himself, but once you get with other people, your style of play definitely changes. And if you do play the same way every single time, like you said, you'll catch that burnout. You know, if you keep doing the same thing, it gets repetitive, and you know you'll kind of, I've done this before. This game's getting boring. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's nice to change things up. Also, in that case.
Yeah, if you found like your first night is always going to a village, securing the villagers, and starting a breeder, and then building an iron farm within the first 2 or 3 days, maybe the next time you start playing, don't worry about iron from the get-go.
Yeah.
Do some mining and stuff. I'm not saying like that's what you're doing now, but maybe that's a little different. Like, I built this item storage. I think I'm down to 9 blocks of iron. That's all the iron I have left.
Oh, wow.
Granted, Magoo and Carlock, I think Billy's part of that shop too. They're selling iron, so I'll probably just go buy some because profits at the Withering effect. So, but yeah, change the way you play. Don't play it the same every time, and it really does become a different game. If you found you're building the same kind of building every time, don't build that next time. It's literally that easy. The thing I can recommend the most is go online, type in architecture designs, and look through those. When you're tired of looking through those, type in architecture designs modern, look through those. If nothing gets your thing, architectural designs classic, or architectural designs 1900s, maybe 1800s. Then you can go to castle designs, stuff like that. You could just build something you see online. A lot of my builds come from pictures that I saw online. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like my last season of Comic Craft, that base was completely designed off some random picture I saw with this ravine that had a waterfall in it. So I was like, I'm going to build that. And I did. And I don't think the castle base from Ripple Effect last season had anything. I'm trying to think. No, I don't think it did. I think that was the first one I just like, I saw this hole and I went, I can build in that.
Yeah, I had the Prismary Mountain in my head for quite a while before I built that. Didn't really look at anything. I think I was inspired by Scar.
Yeah.
When he built his pirate ship mountain. Actually, I had Prismary Mountain in my head before that came out, but when he built it, it gave me an idea how to terraform it. Did help.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember you talking about it before he started doing that.
I do want to mention, like, he plays on Bedrock, so he's kind of limited. I know Java, you could use mods.
That's true.
Like, it helped having Winter and Mad Cat helping us to start in the Nether. That really switched up your gameplay when he started in the Nether.
Mm-hmm.
That helps you die a lot also.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of Bedrock, they just released something this week that I thought was awesome, and that was like the Jurassic World gameplay pack or whatever it was. Like straight up, you build your own dinosaur park. You got dinosaurs and stuff. And at least from the trailer, that's what I saw. And I went, man, stuff like that makes me consider playing Bedrock. Because, I mean, we can get that on Java, but you kind of got to look for somebody designing it themselves. And it's not like fully Mojang approved like the Bedrock marketplace is. So,
yeah, RTX for Bedrock is what would want me to play Bedrock more than anything.
This is true.
Those graphics.
If you're liking the graphics, you already know this, so I'm telling this mainly to the listeners. If you're okay with more adult-oriented Minecraft and YouTubing, Neebs Gaming plays with a lot of the RTX stuff.
Yeah.
And you can really get a look at what it can do on just a gameplay level, and it's really good. It's a really funny series to watch, too.
Oh, they're hilarious.
But be warned, they're very adult, and if you don't like curse words and stuff like that, do not watch.
Yeah, probably don't watch with the kids.
Yeah, please don't. And don't get mad at us for recommending, or at least me for recommending that series to you. But I think that's it. Should we go ahead and move on to the Discord ad?
Yeah, we better.
Yeah, we should. This week's Discord ad is brought to you by StoneFigure. StoneFigure is a milk level patron. Thank you so much, StoneFigure. Go ahead, take it away.
Hello, interwebs. This is StoneFigure. I'd like to invite you to the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to talk to other fans of the podcast and the show's creators. It is also the only place you can vote for Block of the Week, and the votes have been very close lately. So stop on by and say hi. I would love to see you there.
All right. Again, thanks for StoneFigure for making that ad for us. If you guys want to join the Discord, there will be a link down in the show notes. Say the same thing every week. Go ahead, join the Discord. It's a fun place to hang out.
That it is.
And it's the only place you can vote for Block of the Week. Segue complete.
Boom.
This week, the blocks you could vote for me and Jimbo to discuss were the Furnace, Beehive, and Composter. Composter? Composter. Words are hard.
Composter. That's how I say it. The winner of Block of the Week this week is... Furnace. Congratulations to you, Furnace. The votes were 27 for the Furnace, 15 votes for the Beehive, and 5 for the Composter. Wow, Composter got blown away. A few things on the Furnace. It is made with 8 cobblestone or blackstone blocks, found naturally in villages and igloos, smelts blocks and items, turning them into different blocks or items. It's mined only with a pickaxe, emits a light level of 13 when activated, and is an immovable block.
All right. The only thing I have to say so far is, you guys stink. You're voting for these on purpose. You know it's extremely hard to come up with improvement. They literally improved the furnace by making 2 new furnaces.
Yeah.
And you guys still voted for this one. Honestly, I thought Composter was going to win when Carl showed us the pics. But I knew in the back of my mind it was going to be the Furnace.
I was thinking it would be Beehive.
Really?
You know why?
I don't think enough people play with the Beehive to want the Beehive to change.
Yeah, I was just thinking to bother me because I don't like bees.
That's true too. Yeah, so the fixes. This is the thing I think Mojang whiffed the hardest when they did the Blast Furnace update. Is you can't smelt sand in a blast furnace to make glass. And that's kind of how you make like glass vases and stuff like that, is you gotta heat it up in a super hot smelting furnace machine thingamajig words. I know there's real names for this kinds of stuff. But yeah, so I always felt sand should have been in there. And then I was like, well, there's other stuff too, right? I'd like to be able to smelt cobblestone into regular stone super quick. Can't do that in a blast furnace. Granted, doing stuff like this would kind of take away from the furnace in general, and if you want something to smelt faster, you could always just make more furnaces. That's kind of been the game rule to go by. But Mojang broke that rule when they made a smoker and a blast furnace. So I present to you guys the brick furnace.
Oh.
You get bricks, and by that I mean smelting clay balls, craft it into a furnace, and The brick furnace will do your sand, cobblestone, blackstone, all that. Well, blackstone you don't have to smelt to make smooth, right? It's just polished, so you just crafted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like your sand and your cobblestone. If you want to make cracked brick, you could throw it in there. And all it's doing is speeding up just like the blast furnace and smoker does. Not using less fuel, not doing any of that stuff. I went ahead and I looked at a lot of the modded section when it came to furnaces, and most of that was just efficiency of fuel would get changed, which I didn't really understand because Mojang does a pretty good job with fuel efficiency as it is. If you want super efficient for lots of stuff, you get a lava bucket, you get blaze rods, kelp blocks. I mean, all that's different efficiencies. So that, and all has to do with speed and making things faster. And I just go back to the old game rule. If you want it to go faster, make more of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a brick furnace would be good. I keep wanting to call it a brick oven, but no, I don't want you cooking pizzas in Minecraft. Though it would be cool. Just saying.
Don't even have pizza.
Mojang would be really cool if I could cook pizza in Minecraft.
Yeah, we're going to need pizza first.
Yeah, I don't care if it doesn't stack. That would be my number one food source.
It would kind of be like a cake, slices.
Exactly.
That's how I would see it.
I would do that. I do want to go back and look at a post from J-Man, his quest and suggestions, because he did have something a little cool and creating a soul fire furnace. And the soul fire furnace would produce more XP, but would also come with the possibility of, I think, destroying an item that you have go through it. Oh, wait, no, aubni mentioned maybe destroying an item as a way to increase the XP you get from smelting.
Yeah, some kind of a drawback.
Yeah. What was it? And yeah, J-Man's was about the faster smelt times. So he says the soul furnace could be crafted into soul furnace minecart. So it travels faster on powered rails, can pull up to 5 minecarts of any variety, and has a dedicated GUI for inputting fuel and possibly adding minecarts to pool. I like that because it's giving more functionality to furnace minecarts. So that's really cool. And I like Omni's idea of, hey, yeah, this one will give you more XP, but it has a chance of destroying any items you smelt. That being said, if you're doing the furnace XP system, most people just trash the items anyways.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So it's not that big of a deal, but it could also be really cool to have that as an option.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
I don't have a real fix for it. I do want to mention that they can be used in Redstone machines. For it, like I mentioned, they are immovable. So they won't stick to slime. They, the sticky pistons won't push or move them, so they can be useful in that way as well.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's still the thing you want to put over hoppers. Like if you have a lot of hoppers, remember you used to put furnaces over top of it.
Composter now.
Composter.
Yeah, that would be your best lag efficient.
Okay.
Way to deal with it. Composter. Yep, I see it all the time.
I did furnaces on the item sorter because that's how I built it last time. And I need to remember to go through, and if you guys see it in the video that I'm still using furnaces and I didn't switch it out to composters, let me know, because that's something I need to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Composter did make it in the block of the week. It still made it in.
Sneaky block. All right, but we don't have a lot of time left, and we actually have a decent size topic. So this topic was inspired by Helen Z. She's going to be on an episode here soon. She was supposed to be on, I think, was it last week?
It was last week, yep.
Yeah, and she had some stuff come up, so we had to restructure how we were going to do this stuff. But we're working on a new date and time, so look forward to that. We still have all your questions and stuff saved if you send in a question, so don't worry.
Yeah.
But she tweeted out a Minecraft question of the day asking for suggestions for structures to build in a one-chunk challenge. So me and Jimbo kind of took this and we said, well, let's just look at Minecraft structures in general. What structures would we improve on? And then we were like, you know what? Let's do the one chunk challenge. Let's come up with a structure to build in the chunk.
Yep.
So we're going to go over some improvements to existing structures. We each chose 2. And then we're going to talk about our one chunk stuff really quick. So I'll let you do your first one, Jimbo.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm messing with a swamp hut, I picked swamp hut. And first thing I would like to change is the look.
Mm-hmm.
I would like I like to see different variations in the wood to make it look more run down, more worn out feel. I think a witch would have that kind of look. I don't know if you look at witch movies and stuff, their house is kind of run down and beat up, and I feel like that would be a cool addition. I feel like a smokestack, maybe, would let off some smoke.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Just to know there's some activity going on in there, because there's always a witch in there when you first go. Maybe some terraforming to make it look more rundown. I don't know. I feel like
the swamp was a biome that was going to be in the update, so a swamp update is coming at some point. It won't be the first one, but it will come at some point, and maybe that's something they look at.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a different look at the swamp hut. I like to call it a witch hut, but they're definitely called a swamp hut. When I went to look at it again,
I call it a witch hut.
Yeah, I always call it a witch hut. And loot. You go in there, and there's just a cauldron and a crafting table. What is it? A clay pot and a flower. That's it. That's all you get in there. It's really nothing to loot. I was thinking there probably should be a brewing stand in there.
I was going to say, there's not a brewing stand at a witch hut?
No, it's just a cauldron. But a brewing stand would make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe with some different potions inside of there, luck out that way. And maybe a chest with the chance of possibly getting an enchanted book, or maybe some swamp items, maybe some vines, stuff maybe a witch would have, maybe some redstone, glowstone, dust, maybe some other drops you can find in that chest.
For sure.
But I just feel like it's way too empty. I understand the size of it because, the platforms are 7 by 9. That's the spawning radius. So you don't want to go too much bigger than that. People would take way too much advantage of these farms in that case. But I feel like it could use a new look and some more loot.
I 100% agree with everything you said. With the different wood variations, the only thing I would be on the edge, because I want Mojang to keep with we want to make a palette for you to extend on. So kind of do what they did with the villages. They upgraded the villages without doing too much. I think that would work also for, you're saying, different wood variations.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you put a stair here so it kind of looks like part of the wood's broken a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think that would still fit in there. Hey, we've upgraded it, but we haven't done it too much. We still want you to do stuff to it. So mine, I chose a desert temple because I can't remember the last time I've been in one. Seriously, I can't remember at all. And it's probably one of the dullest temples, while I think it's also one of the best looking temples from the outside.
Yeah, they do have the best loot.
I wouldn't know. I can't remember the loot that comes in a desert temple.
Oh, you can get a variety of things. I mean, there's a 4 chests of different loot, plus you get the TNT, so the loot's pretty good.
My improvement of it, I don't want to change the outside that much. I think it could do with a little bit of updating. Maybe add some more of the red sandstone, which is really orange. I don't know why we're still calling it red. Maybe add some of that. Maybe add some of the smooth variations that are in there. But other than that, I think the desert temple from the outside looks really cool, so I wouldn't mess with it too much. But the inside, I want to change the inside of it up a little bit. It's so boring. Everyone knows by now how to beat a desert temple. This is the most purchased game in the world. Everybody knows how to beat a desert temple now. You're not going to have so many new people coming that are just like, desert temple, I wonder what to do here. Jump down the middle. Especially now, you look at the jump and any new player is going to be like, oh, that's going to hurt. I'm not going to jump down. I'm going to pillar down or something like that. So changing the inside up a little bit, maybe have the pit for one of them. Maybe you have a dungeon in there in another. Maybe you have a treasure throne in another. Doing stuff like that, I think, would be really nice. And I think Bastions have kind of laid the groundwork for something like that to be able to be done. I know the entire look of Bastions change because it's all kinds of procedurally generated and things like that. But I think you could do a lot on the inside of a desert temple. Desert temples aren't that small on the inside. They're actually pretty big. So I think it gives enough space to be able to throw a lot of different variations in there.
I actually lived in one last season.
That was my main fix, was just switch the inside up a little bit. I'm okay with no new mobs or anything like that. Though a mummy would be kind of cool in there, but honestly, I'm fine with having it the way it is, just change the inside up a little bit.
Yeah, you can only get fooled once. My first time in there, I noticed that different looking block in the middle of the temple, and I was like, oh, look at this. This one looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if I break it, what it'll do. I fell down, hit the pressure plates, blew up.
Yep.
That's only going to happen one time, if you haven't seen it before. You're going to know next time not to jump down that hole. But yeah, it's same thing over and over. That trap only gets you once.
What about you? What's your next structure?
I chose the jungle temple.
Oh, okay.
I talked about this a little bit on a different episode about a mob being in there. I would like a new look to the jungle temple. All these probably require a new look.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the same forever. I'm thinking maybe use the same blocks, but maybe make it look more overgrown with leaves. The jungle is real thick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of vines, and I feel like it'd be cool if it was a little more hidden under the leaves and just more overgrown.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside, it'd be cool if we can extend it, make it bigger, more like not as big as a mine shaft, but kind of make different tunnels to where there's traps and maybe a boss at the end in the main treasure room.
Mm-hmm.
And the boss I was thinking about would be a giant snake.
Yeah. Forget you, Jimbo.
Yeah, something to make you think about going in there or not. Because usually you go in there, you get the loot, you come out.
Yeah.
The trap, again, gets you once, but it's not going to get you the second time. And it'd be cool if there was just different traps, not the same one every time.
I hate snakes. They are my nemesis.
Most people do.
But let's also remember, you're putting a very curvy mob in a very blocky game.
Mm-hmm. But I think they could manage. But it would be a giant one. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have the whole snake. Maybe just like half of it is coming out of the walls,
Mm-hmm.
and it's slithering around. I don't know. But a giant snake sounds scary. I know people don't like them.
Oh, it does.
They brought in bees. They can bring in snakes.
Bees are adorable. You're just scared of them.
You ever see a real bee? Are they that adorable?
Yeah. Bees are nice. It's the wasps and the hornets you got to watch out for.
Mm-hmm. Also, bee family. They're like cousins.
They're like cousins.
Anyway, that's my jungle temple. Figured that'd be cool to see a little bit of changes with the temple.
My last structure I would improve is in the desert again, and it's the well.
It's a good one.
I felt that this was a structure that a lot of people forgot about because it's extremely forgettable structure.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing there but water. And I get it. It's a desert. It's supposed to be cool that you find a well in a desert, but it's Minecraft. If you need to find water in a desert, walk for 10 more minutes. You'll probably hit a river or an ocean.
Yeah, right. There's water everywhere.
So I suggest making wells kind of like they do the ruined portals that they have now. Kind of like how they do the underwater ruins.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. I think you should have treasures hidden in the well. Maybe, like Jimbo said, maybe have a little bit of a mine shaft in there with traps and such.
Yeah.
My first thought was like the igloo. How you would go into an igloo and you rip up the carpet and you might find the trapdoor.
Yeah.
So maybe have that kind of randomization. So not every well has a little treasure room or something like that. Might be cool. It'll just make it different.
Yeah, when you see a well, you want to explore it, like there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's just the water. And every time I go to one, not every time, but before, I'm like, there's got to be something else with this well. And I'm like digging around it and then realize it's just, it's just a well. There's nothing really there.
Yeah.
That would be something really cool to upgrade. The igloo, too.
Mm-hmm.
The igloo, it's kind of, I guess it's got a good bit going for it.
Yeah, I don't mind the igloos. And like most of my fixes were very small implementations. I know Mojang's working on updating biomes and they've got 117 coming, which we don't really know what that's about yet. So I didn't want to say too much. I agree with all your fixes because even your fixes aren't that big. Well, Jungle Temple for you was a little bit larger than what I was saying for the Desert Temple. But none of these are crazy outlandish except for the giant snake, Jimbo. Come on, really? Giant curved snake in Minecraft?
Yeah. Yep. Giant curved snake.
But yeah, little things. I think Mojang does a good job. Once I understood why their buildings and stuff were so simplistic, I very much got it. And I'm on board with this is a blank canvas. We kind of just put checkpoints for you to go to and visit. Everything else is kind of up to you to create your own world. And I'm okay with that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the theory I had when it came to building our own one chunk structure. I'm going to let you go first on your structure, and then I'll finish up. What do you have?
My one chunk structure would be a hidden bunker, which would be also known as like a safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine, it's your first day and it's becoming nighttime. You're new to all this. You don't really know what to do. That's just in that situation. But you come across a lantern, have a hanging lantern there, and you're like, oh, what's this? And beneath the lantern is a trapdoor with a ladder entrance, probably about 20 blocks underground.
Mm-hmm.
And it would contain almost everything you need. I'm thinking 4 double chests, a bed, a furnace, and a few crops, maybe even. I was thinking enchantment table, but that might be too much.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can think of anything to go inside the safe haven. I guess you call it a safe haven instead of a hidden bunker. Either way, I think that would be pretty cool. It would even have, some things in the chests, like some random loot. I'm thinking depending on the forest biome, because I would like for it to be in a forest, more hidden, not, out in the open in a plains. Maybe the lantern hangs from a tree. I'm trying to think of other things to add to it. Pretty much all I wrote down, though.
That's fine. Like I said, we're a little long on time. Well, depending on how much Carl has to edit out motorcycle noises. But
yeah, right.
On my one chunk challenge, I kind of cheated a little bit and saying that this might work better near a village. Standing on its own might look a little weird, but I went to the savannah area because I don't think there's a lot going on in the savannah. Yeah, we got savannah villagers and all that kind of stuff, but other than that, there's not much going on there. And I went, what would be cool there that we don't have anywhere else? So like taiga's cool because you get the different rock formations, you have the podzol and stuff, you have flowery biomes in the plains, the swamp biomes, kind of their own exploration things. Wow, I fumbled that word so badly, don't judge. So I decided what would look really cool is a savanna garden. And my process in my head would be like you're looking at a vineyard. So I know a vineyard in a kind of a dry place is a little weird, but imagine berry bushes, maybe mixed in with a couple dead bushes. You have fence posts that could be hooked up to pergolas, because those are really easy and nice to build with existing Minecraft blocks. And it could easily fit in one chunk. And I think that would be really cool. It wouldn't really bring you any loot or anything fancy, but you'd have berry bushes where you could get food, and it would bring berry bushes into a different biome. So that could be also cool. Maybe a savanna berry bush is a little bit different color or tint or something like that. But I thought it would look really cool in a savanna biome and bring more reason to go visit that area.
Yeah, it's almost like an oasis inside. Yeah, like an oasis structure inside of that. That would be pretty cool. Maybe even those could be randomly generated in a desert.
Mm-hmm.
Like an oasis type of deal.
Probably won't work as well in a desert because I do picture grass and stuff there. It's so green.
Yeah.
But it could easily be thrown into a plains biome or anything like that. I just wanted another reason to go visit a savanna. I think I picked savanna for the biome update. It's one of my favorite biomes, but yet there's not a lot there. Kind of a dead area.
Yeah. Villages. You can find your villages there, but that's
about it.
That's about it, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the show.
If you guys know of any structures, I was going to say, let us know in the Discord if you guys think of any one chunk structures. I figured HelenAngel was asking about these because they were maybe brought that up in some way. Maybe they're thinking of new structures to put in one chunk. So yeah, run it by the Discord. Check it out.
Yeah. Before Jimbo reads us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, Crock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, TheOfficialCCL, viperoustuna, and YDYT. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and extra content each month, consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach out to more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everybody's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.